Hi Year 2, it's Miss Addy. Our learning question for today in maths is, can I use arrays to record multiplication sentences? Our steps to success say, I can draw an array to represent a multiplication calculation, I can work out how many equal groups there are, and I can record a calculation using the times symbol. Our star words for today are array, which we're going to find out a little bit more later on, repeated addition, which we learnt a lot on yesterday in yesterday's session, the phrase groups of, which we've been learning a lot about lately. This helps us with multiplication, which is our next star word, and the word calculation, as multiplication is a calculation, and this is the one we're focusing on today. So what is an array? We learnt a little bit about arrays last week. An array is a series of pictorial representations used to represent repeated addition and multiplication. Arrays are organised into columns and rows. Going this direction horizontally, this is known as rows, and going down vertically, like this, these are columns. These green counters here are organised into an array. This shows me the rows. I have one row, I have two rows. Now going down vertically shows me the columns. As you can see, I've got one column, two columns, three columns, and four columns. I have two rows and four columns. This array shows us two rows of four. This array shows us two groups of four. This array shows us 2 times 4, 2 multiplied by 4. I could also look at this using repeated addition. My repeated addition number sentence would be 4 plus 4. This helps us with multiplication, and we had a look at this yesterday, as multiplication is an operation. Can you remember how many operations we have? Yep, that's right. We have 4 operations, 4 calculations we use. We use addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. We're obviously focusing on multiplication today. This is using the times sign. It looks like an X. This means times multiplied by lots of or groups of. And just to remind ourselves, these are synonyms, so these are words that are similar to multiply. We have multiply, times, multiplied by, lots of, groups of, repeated addition, product, and array, which we are focusing on today. Have a look at these cupcakes here. They're organised into arrays. How many groups have I got? Count them. I've got 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups. I've got 4 rows there, 4 groups. How many cupcakes are in each group? 1, 2. I have 4 times 2, 4 groups of 2. I have 8 cupcakes in total. Remember, I can count in 2s to work out my total. Let's do it together. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's have a go at this one. Now we have apples. How many groups of apples do I have? How many rows of apples are there? 1 row, 2 row, 3 rows. I've got 3 groups of apples. How many apples are in each group? 3. I've got 3 groups of 3. 3 times 3. Here are my apples in total. How many do I have in total? 3, 6, 9. I have 9 apples in total. 3 times 3 equals 9. Let's look at this array. I'm using ladybirds this time. How many groups of ladybirds do I have? I've got 2 groups this time. How many ladybirds are in each group? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ladybirds in each group. 2 groups of ladybirds, 5 in each group. 2 times 5, 2 groups of 5, 2 lots of 5. How many are in total? Remember, we have the equal sign. This tells us our total amount altogether. I've got 10 ladybirds in total. 5 plus 5, 2 times 5. Now I have some geese. How many groups of geese do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 groups of geese, 5 rows of geese. How many are in each group? 1, 2, 3. 5 groups of 3, 5 times 3. I could count them in threes to work out my total. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I've got 15 geese in total. Over there in the circle, they're all jumbled up. I'd have to count them individually, one by one, to work out the amount. But when I look over here at my array, it's organised neatly into rows and columns, so it's easy for me to work out the amount and multiply them. Now look at my Easter eggs. How many rows of Easter eggs can you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rows of eggs. 6 groups of eggs. How many are in each group? I can clearly see on my array there are 3 Easter eggs in each group. So my multiplication sentence will say 6 times 3. Oh, and here are all my Easter eggs scattered around. They're very hard to work out the amount. Using my array, I can count them in threes to work out the amount. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. I've got 18 Easter eggs in total. Let's have a look at these oranges. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of oranges, 7 groups of oranges. How many are in each group? Can you see? Yes, I've got 4 oranges in each group. My number sentence here says 7 times 4, 7 groups of 4. I can easily write my multiplication sentence by looking at the array. And here are the total amount of my oranges. I've got 28 oranges. Here I've got 3 different arrays. I've got some pears, some mushrooms, and some apples. But my number sentences, my multiplication sentences at the bottom are all jumbled up. What I need to do is match the multiplication sentence to the array. Can you pause the video and see if you can work out what the multiplication sentence is for each array? Oh gosh, that was really tricky, but we worked it out. Remember, we need to look at the rows and then the columns. Always start with rows first. Oh, and another go. So now we've got some tomatoes, some potatoes, and some strawberries, all organised into nice, neat arrays, but their multiplication sentences at the bottom are jumbled up again. Can you pause the video and work out the matching array to the multiplication sentence? Oh, well done if you got that. Remember, rows first, then columns. Right, Year 2, this is your task. I want you to have a go at drawing some arrays to match these sentences here. So I've got sentences using the words equal groups of. So 4 equal groups of 5, 2 equal groups of 10, 7 equal groups of 2, 5 equal groups of 5, 3 equal groups of 10, and 10 equal groups of 10. So you need to draw an array. You can choose any picture you like. It might be easier to just use things like shapes, like circles and squares and triangles. But if you like, you can draw some fruit, just like we had on the screen. But you need to remember to draw your arrays in neat and equal rows and columns. This means they need to be the same size and directly on top and underneath each other, so it's easy for somebody to work out the multiplication sentence. Okay, enjoy.